Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here live at LZ World Tour Canada at iCar in Mirabel, which is just outside of Montreal, Quebec. It is Saturday. Yesterday we had private practice from 3 to 6. I managed to get one run in and not even. Unfortunately, the car started cutting, shutting down, backfiring. We thought it was a fuel pump issue. We changed the fuel pump. Problem was still there. So we completely missed the practice yesterday. A big thanks to Jimmy Oakes, who checked the log, and we were able to figure out that it was hopefully, most probably, the TPS sensor. So luckily I had a spare one at my house. Cricket was at my house using my welder from Drift HQ, brought my spare throttle body so I could steal the TPS, put it on the car. Didn't get to drift, but you know, we drove around the parking lot and didn't seem to have the symptoms anymore. So right now we're about to go out for the first practice session, and we're just warming the car up right now. So I'm pretty stoked to get some laps in, but can't waste some time because all the other drivers have a lot more practice than me.
So there's a good chance that Kevin might be not able to compete because they're still having issues with the car. So I don't necessarily know exactly what's going on. We've replaced the fuel pump and the throttle position sensor. Maddie, there's Maddie, and it's still acting up. Every time he goes to initiate into a drift, it kills on him. It dies. So. It's really unfortunate, but we're trying to do everything we can. We just opened up the top of the intake, took it off to check all the connections and stuff like that, so we'll figure it out.
At this point, the guys were just at a loss of ideas because we threw everything at the car, and lots of people were talking about the head grounds, so we decided to add some grounds and clean up the existing grounds to see if it would do anything. That moment really sucked because we actually thought that we had it fixed. You know, the car did its longest burnouts without screwing up, and I was actually going to stop one donut before and decided to do one more because I heard a little hiccup. And yeah, unfortunately it did it again. So qualifying was maybe in like 15 minutes, and we were starting to think that maybe we had a lift pump issue and that the surge tank was getting drained. So we quickly grabbed my spare lift pump, threw it on, and just hope for the best, sending it into qualifying round one.
Same thing.
Yeah, so next up we have got Kevin Darwish. Kevin Darwish in this Nissan 240SX, 6-litre LS, 430 horsepower. And Kevin, I like it. Some style on the car. You got the chrome flames going on there. Let's see what his style on the track is like. Really having a good time here on this circuit. I watched some of his practice runs. He looked very, very comfortable. So the problem is that in practice, nothing matters. You've got nothing on the line. But when you get to qualifying, that's when the nerves set in. You know you've only got 2 runs to impress the judges and this amazing audience here in iCar in Montreal. And let's see if he can get it all done when the pressure is on. So it's a short run in, you know, a couple of gears, first, second, third as they run into that first corner. And let's see what Kevin can do as he fires along the track. This is where he's got to get that initiation just right. Very shallow on the initiation, missing that outer zone and inside those dotted white lines. Remember, the judges want them. Oh, and that's a mechanical issue for Kevin Darwish. And he was late to the grid as well. So maybe it was a mechanical issue that he just had to take a chance would work, and it didn't work out for him. He's obviously broken down on circuit. And unfortunately for Kevin Darwish, that's the first run in the trash. Yeah, so I'm hearing some interesting things here. So this is Jimmy Oakes and Kevin Darwish in the one car.
Oh, interesting.
So judges, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to get a little secret here. One of them is driving, so that would be the one I'd give the most points to. The passenger, I feel, doesn't do as much. So unfortunately, Kevin Darwish's car not making it through to the battle. So it's just jumping in with Jimmy Oakes for a passenger ride. So keep your eyes on this one, judges. If the passenger pulls the wheel, pulls the handbrake, causes an incident, we may have an issue here.
I kind of hope he drives in the passenger seat. I'm not going to lie.
What's the LC World Tour? We just make it up as we go along.
And this is the best part, is that we can change the rules. If something doesn't seem right, okay, you need a car, we'll lend you a car. When did we see, who was it who drove like 3 different cars in Bakersfield?
Hurt.
It was Hurt.
I think Hurt was just jumping in any car that came through the paddock. There was some people coming to the car show. Hurt was just taking the car and going to it some runs. But Jimmy Oakes doing a showy run for all the fans here. Look at that, nice. Little 360. That's what it's all about. Fans love it. Hands on the roof. A poor car has done a lot of laps today. But
I've never grinded second like that. My poor transmission, bro.
Okay, what a weekend. We're now Sunday. Unfortunately, all day yesterday we were chasing the problem with the S14 of it randomly cutting, just like shutting down, backfiring. We could not figure out what it was. So many people working on the car, like a big thanks to my crew, Jeffrey, Yan, Jim, my brother-in-law. There was also Johnny that was helping. There was Denny. So many people were helping. My father, my girlfriend. I'm probably forgetting people. There's also a bunch of people in the pits that helped out. You know, Danny and Jaden from Empire. You got Jada Liberté that was coming to help. I was hitting up my tuner, Pat, and another tuner in the States, and Ardo. And honestly, it was crazy. We threw parts at it. You know, we threw fuel pump, lift pump, fuel pressure regulator, fuel filter, coal packs, spark plug wires, spark plugs. Like, we changed everything, TPS, like name it, IAC, and we still had the problem. I don't get it. It ended up being, I rechecked one of the logs today, and I saw the smallest dip in the RPM. For like a 0.2 seconds, it would dip from like 3,800 RPMs to 28 back to 38. And I'm like, at the beginning, I was wondering if it was crank sensor. Most of the people said no because I had RPM, but I guess you had to really zoom in the log to see the dip in the RPM. So decided to change the crank sensor. A big thanks to Stefano, who his car was in the car show. He ripped it over here because he has the same block as me, so same crank sensor. But as we were taking the crank sensor out, my brother-in-law looked at one of the, like the connector, and one of the wires, we have a video of it, I'll show a video. Ever so slightly, the wire, the pin was coming down. So probably when I would throw the car left and right, the engine would move, the harness would move a little bit. It would just slightly lose contact and make the car cut. So he took the pin out, fixed it, pushed it back in, and
Seeing my team celebrate is probably the best moment of the weekend.
Jesus Christ, man. It only took all weekend, man. Holy shit.
Honestly, what a waste of an amazing event. I'm glad we fixed it. A big thanks once again to my entire team. I wouldn't have been able to do this without them, but it is what it is. So glad that the car is fixed, because it's a bit more of a difficult thing to fix at home and then not really be able to test it and have to go to the track and test. Like yesterday, we must have gone out like at least 10, 11, 12 times to the burnout pad just to do burnouts to see if it would cut, and it would cut every single time. And honestly, the team was really like, everybody's exhausted. So now it's the fantasy battles right now, and it's gonna be top 16. So I went to park the car in the car show so everybody could see it up close, because the pits are closed here and not everybody gets to see the cars. So at least they get to see one of the cars. And I'm gonna have a beer and go enjoy the show. So I have a couple of practice runs that I managed to get in that I filmed with my GoPro, so let's cue them right now.